In this video, we're going to learn how to create a Blazor component for a Blazor application. We create a template and write C# code to connect the component with the application. Hi, I'm a software engineer with more than 10 years of experience with the .NET platform. If you want to improve as a software developer and learn about .NET development including Blazor, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. If you are new to Blazor, make sure you watch the Blazor introduction video first. In this video, I'm going to focus on creating a Blazor component. Creating a Blazor component is one of the first things we want to do when we create a Blazor application. As we learned in the Blazor introduction, Blazor applications consist of many Blazor components. A Blazor component represents a part of the user interface and can be reused in your application or even in multiple applications. A Blazor component consists of an HTML template optionally styled using CSS and C# code. The C# code glues the application and the components together. In this video, I use a Blazor Server application created using the standard application template of Visual Studio 2019. The code works with .NET Core 3.1. When we want to create a Blazor component within Visual Studio 2019 Community Edition, we right-click on the folder we want to create a new component for and click on the Add New Item menu option. Within the Add New Item dialog, we click on Visual C# and choose Razor Component as our file template. Fill in a component name and click on the Add button on the bottom right corner to create the file. In this video, we're going to create a product card component. It's important to understand that in Blazor we use Razor components, which means that we build components using the Razor syntax. In the context of this video, we reference our component as a Blazor component, because we use it in a Blazor application. Let's take a look at the structure of the generated Blazor component. We have two parts. In the upper half of the Blazor component, we have the HTML template. In this case, a single div tag with the name of the component represents the component template. In the lower part of the Blazor component, we have a add code directive which wraps C# code for our Blazor component. Up to now, there is no C# code within our new Blazor component. We want to change our Blazor component template to something more useful than only the name of the component. Let's change the generated code and implement a component template for our Blazor component. I replace the existing template and insert an HTML template for our new component. In this template, we're still defining a div tag as the top level node. Within this div tag, with the CSS class product card, we have a more complex layout using the card layout from the Bootstrap documentation. As I said at the beginning of this video, in this example we use the Blazor Server template, which includes Bootstrap as a user interface framework. Bootstrap allows us to style our template without having to write the CSS ourselves. This template represents a product card, which could be found within an online shop to show a single product. We need to take a closer look at the template where we use the add image URL, add product name and add product description tags. Those definitions are placeholders for variables defined in the C# part of the component. The C# part of the component belongs below the template definition and is wrapped within a code directive. I insert the code that defines the three variables used within the component template. The variables are defined as private string variables. It's important to understand that those variables are not defined within an explicit class definition, nor are they static. The variables are part of the Blazor component class deriving from Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.Components.BaseComponent class. But the class definition does not have to be explicitly written. It's a handy shortcut we use within Blazor components. Let's take a final look at the completed product card component. At the top of our component, we define the HTML template and use CSS to style the component. After the template definition, we wrap our C# code within an add code directive. In our example, we define string variables that are used within the template. Now that we have our first component completed, we want to show it on a page within our Blazor application. A page in Blazor is a Blazor component itself that also provides the ability to be addressed using a route. For now, let's use the default Blazor Server application template and add our created component to the index.razor page. To include a component within another component, we can use an HTML tag with the name of the component. In our case, the product card tag can be used to place our Blazor component within the index Blazor page. We defined the product card component in another namespace than the index component. We created it in the component's namespace. Therefore, we need to add a using statement at the top of the index component. This using statement makes all of the components within the reference namespace available to our index page. Great! Now that we made all the required code changes to our application, let's take a look at our component in action. We start the application and we immediately see our product card component rendered on the index page of the application. That's how we build components as a foundation of a Blazor application. Sure, there are advanced topics including component parameters, routing, sharing data between components and much more. But when it comes to creating Blazor components, you have learned all the required fundamentals to explore the world of Blazor components yourself. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos about Blazor and .NET development. And if you watched that long, please hit the like button, and if you want to dive deep into Blazor, check out the link in the video description below. Thank you and see you in the next.